We're going to go over 5 tips to instantly improve your defense, guaranteed. 5 settings that you probably haven't changed yet, and 5 things you got to do, okay? Number 1, game settings. If you're struggling to defend right now, I'll tell you this from coaching thousands of students, change to ball relative. It's so much more easier. The only option to use player relative is if you're used to using it for 7+ years, but if you're struggling right now with defending, turn this to ball relative. It's more consistent. I made a video on this. The video's on my channel. I don't want to go over it too much, but this will improve your defense by tenfold because the faster you switch, the better you can react. Where most people are struggling after this shadow patch, they want to call it, they're not switching on time. The most important thing is right stick switching. With ball relative, the reason why it helps you is because your eye follows the ball. All you have to do is flick the right analog stick wherever you want to switch to a player where the ball is. I'm going to insert a clip over here. You can see with the right analog stick. Wherever the ball is, I just right stick switch to the player next to it, and you always switch that player guaranteed. And think about it. If the ball is, for example, over here, and you got a back four, and you got a CDM, you flick it once, you select your CDM. You flick it twice, and you're center back. If you want to select your left center back, very, very easy. Or let's say your left back, you just flick it basically your right analog stick to the top left like that. Simple, so easy. With player relative, the issue is if you're controlling, for example, this player here, and you, for example, try to select this player, it might select that player by mistake. So that is why ball relative is one of the most consistent ways of switching players. Very, very important. One of the most important things for defending. You want to get better at FC25 now? Before you skip ahead, what if I told you if you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money? That's a nil guys guarantee. We got in-depth tutorials that are not even on the YouTube channel. We show you the theory of something, and we show you gameplay examples in a structured format. We also go over real life football examples that apply to the game and exclusive pro gameplay analysis, full gameplay analysis to elevate your game. We teach you everything from the basics to the meta. Come join at patreon.com/nilguys. Links down below in the description. If you don't get better after 1 month, we'll refund your money. That's the Nil Guys guarantee. Links down below in the description. All right, number 2, switching over. This is a pro example from Anders versus Oberon, the final, okay? It looks simple, right? But let me tell you something. The most important thing is look what Oberon is doing. You can see before the situation has occurred, players use this. This is what an average player would do here. Use their CDM, and that's completely fine. But have a look what happens in this situation, right? The ball goes away, okay? The CDM gets beaten. But watch how Oberon is already selecting the center back. This is the key difference between you defending, and I promise you, watch your gameplay back. I promise you, this is not what you're doing, okay? Have a look at how early Oberon is switching. Before the dangers even got there, he switched early, positioned the player, and neutralize the situation before the player was even in that situation. So the most important thing here is switching early. Do you know where a lot of people switches? A lot of people, they will switch now, and that is when they get beaten. So the most important thing is switching early. I'm going to give another example from the same game. Have a look at this one. You're going to see mechanic abusing at its finest. First time L1 triangle over the top, but you can see Haaland is there to recover and at least push Henry out the way. We're going to go over this, why this is so important in a second, but look at this. Look, you see L1 triggers made. As you can see, look, the defender is already selected, you see? So the defender is already running back before the ball is even being played. And that's the key. As soon as you see the danger, don't wait for the situation to happen. React first. It's better to switch early to the defender. And you can see even here, even when you reacted early, the defender didn't catch up. Just about did. It was enough to put Henry out of possession or push him on the side, just put him out. You see the importance of running back here, switching early. And this is more important. You see that player there? Do you know who that player is on the screen? You know who it is? It's Haaland. You see 96 sprint speed. And don't forget, professional players, by the way, don't forget, professional players are restricted in terms of what players that they can use. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure they would have the best centre-backs inside the game. So this guy, if a pro can't recover with 96 sprint speed, and you can see, look, you can see Anders, barely one of the best players in the world, barely recovered the situation with 96 sprint speed, then how can you, who's not someone like Anders' level, and you're using garbage like this, forget these players with A1 sprint speed? I should not use them because you can lose your weekend league. Easier games for us. You know what? Keep using it. Minimum, in my opinion, now 90 sprint speed, 85 defense awareness, minimum. Okay. All the cards you've seen here I've selected. These are the only centre backs you should be using, in my opinion. You haven't got the money, I'll give you some cheap substitutions in a second. Anyone here is fine. I can tell you without even looking at your gameplay, guaranteed. There's 2 players I guarantee you. I don't have to even look at your gameplay. Trust me, I teach this game for a living. I've seen thousands of gameplay just by Kunde and Araujo. 600k in total. I promise you, they will fix your defensive woes. The reason why is that the run and jockey is the most important thing. People are late to react that way. If you've got the run and jockey playstyle plus or the jockey playstyle plus, it increases the max speed of the sprint jockey. So if you make a mistake, you're going to be fast enough to recover in time. So if you're really struggling, I promise you, don't even look at your gameplay. Get Araho Kunde. If you've got more money, get Eder Militao and Stam. If you've got more money, you can also go with Militao and also Maldini, but also Stam is one of the best centre backs inside the game. If not, go with someone like this. You really haven't got the money, get Kusanov. The guy costs 70k. You can get one of the best centre backs inside the game. Got the regular jockey playstyle as well. And of course, some other few cards if you want to, if you got them, anyone. But there's other few cards as well that are with him. There's so many good cards you can get now for price to perform. If you want to know a cheap card is Murillo. I don't like him, the 84 sprint speed, and that's why I think he's not good enough. But Kusanov is a really, really good card. And you can pair it with someone like Tomori or Van de Ven if you're really going for those Premier League links. Next, camera settings, okay? Co-op is the best camera angle because it allows you to see everything, okay? Now, let me explain this to you because people don't understand this and they get the misinterpretation, I would say, of this, okay? Pro players, they look at the radar 99 times out of 100, okay? So when they're defending this situation, do you know how Anders able to see this? Because he knows what's going on, and you can look at his eyes on the bottom right. He's looking at the radar. So if you're not looking at the radar every single second, which I guarantee you the most casual player is probably not going to be doing, then a co-op camera angle is the most zoomed out and let you see the earliest things or things the earliest. The earlier you can see them, the more time you have to react. And that is why, for example, if you play against a mechanic abuser, does a first time through ball like this, when the camera angle is zoomed out, you can see it much earlier and react much better. Also, what's more important, the camera angle is very vertical in terms of the alignment and it's horizontal. If you have, that doesn't even make sense. If you have the height at 20, you have a more of a bird's eye view, so you can see the distance between the players. But with it being zoomed out, what I'm trying to refer to is it's not slanted. You see a camera angle like, for example, Pro, or you see broadcast, you see the camera angle is slanted. Now, this is important. When you have a slanted camera angle, you have to defend in a slanted way. That is why for some of you who go from a camera angle like tele broadcast and then you go to something like co-op, it's difficult because you're used to defending in a slanted way. But if you naturally look at where your eyes are looking in a top-down view like this, where it's kind of flat and it's not slanted and it stays straight, it's easier for you to adapt. So in fact, the easiest way to defend is to use a co-op camera angle. You're actually putting yourself at a disservice by using dynamic or broadcast or anything like that. I think tele broadcast and tele are fine, but in my opinion, the best is use co-op. If you really want to zoom in or get that tele style look, I would recommend going with co-op, like this, co-op, and then putting a zoom in all the way. So at least that way you're trying to replicate tele as much as possible. But I would recommend co-op. Pros use co-op as well. But the reason why they don't need to use it is because they look at the radar every 10 seconds. Do you look at the radar every 10 seconds? If no, then use co-op, in my opinion. And then finally, we're going to go to the last thing, right? Defending. Remember I told you don't need to use advanced defending? You still don't, okay? The game makes the right decision 9 times out of 100. Are there some benefits to advanced defending? Yes, if you're an Elite Plus player. Chances are people watching this video are not an Elite Plus player. That's why you need to use a tactical defending. You don't need to use advanced. People keep saying, oh, you need to use it. You don't. I've been saying this since day one. I use tactical defending. Even I think most of the pros still use tactical defending. You don't need to use advanced defending. Yes, there's a few benefits, but you need to know when to use it, when to do the shoulder challenge. You need to know when to do it. That's the most important thing. Most of the time, from what I've been looking at, people mess it up. Leave it on tactical. Let the game make a decision for you. It's better. I know there's probably going to be like 1 or 2 people saying, oh, I'm a Division 4 and I can do it. That's fine. That's 1%. 99% of you just use tactical defending. There's actually no actual benefit for an average casual player to use advanced defending if they don't know how to defend in the first place. They're getting a better benefit with tactical defending and then use advanced defending. Even I don't even need to use tactical. Even I don't need to use advanced defending. That's why I leave on tactical. Anyways, we'll leave it like that. I'm trying to get this video as quick as possible because I know he's going his diatribe, going on 1,000 things at one time. I thought I'd make it quick. Enjoy your weekend league. Get back to your games. And remember, make sure you're doing these small things. And of course, remember, when you lose the ball, of course, run back. 99% of the goals are conceded by 2 ways. Very, very important. Number 1, not running back. Number 2 is by losing the ball in a bad transition, in a build-up play in your own half. Those are the two most common ways goals are scored. Watch your gameplay back, sort out. If you want to get better FC25, come to my Patreon. So it's patreon.com/no guides, link down in the description. We go over this, we go over pro gameplay analysis. I showed this whole gameplay analysis, what they did wrong, and what things you can take away. Patreon.com/no guides, link down in the description. Take it easy, get back to your games, win some games. Peace out.